What's poppin', yo? I'm not gonna lie. The females is kind of keeping rap lit right now. First we had, Ice Spice, and then Ice Spice and Nicki, and now we got Nicki involved again, partially against her will. Lotto was performing at Coachella, and then she was performing a new song, which took pretty much not direct shots, or as direct as you can get. And she said along the lines of, acting like they run and stuff, they really ran through, and she thought I would kiss her ass, she must ain't took her meds. Now, this could be about anybody, but the history that Lotto and Nicki Minaj have amongst each other, if you guys remember, it kind of goes back to the Grammy category. So Lotto had a big song last year that was up for a Grammy, Big Energy, and Nicki Minaj was upset. Nicki Minaj was basically saying, hey, you should kind of step down, in less words than that, but the energy that people received was, you should step down because someone looks up to me and this and that. And Lotto's just enjoying herself. Like, hey, I got a Grammy nomination for my song Big Energy. I want to celebrate that. I don't even know if it won the Grammy, but that's not important. But this started a back and forth between them, a complete mess. But they start going back and forth. Nicki comes at her. Nicki fans start going crazy. I don't know why Nicki fans just always have this radar or scout whenever she's mentioned and just storm places. It's probably going to happen in this video, but I don't really care. I speak fairly. So whatever they got to say, don't really care about your opinion. So this goes on a back and forth. And then people come out and say, oh, Lotto was a huge Nicki stan, which, yeah, of course, it makes sense. It's like when Young Thug and Lil Wayne had their back and forth. Young Thug was an ultra Lil Wayne stan, and then they got into beef. That just is what it is. Young Thug didn't know he was going to have problems with Wayne when he blew up as a rapper, and partially that was because of Young Thug's own fault. Lil Wayne didn't do anything wrong there. I think this is a bad idea by Lotto, though. I think it's entertaining, but the problem here is Nicki Minaj has momentum, and when someone has momentum, you don't want to feed their momentum. You don't want to battle. It's like inertia. An object at motion is likely to stay in motion. So if Nicki was cold and Lotto was hot, which Lotto is popular. I'm not saying she fell off. I'm not saying she flopped. Nothing like that. She's popular, but right now she's kind of, I wouldn't say at a standstill, but Lotto in the conversation has taken a backseat to Ice Spice, and then also now Nicki Minaj because she's collaborating with Ice Spice. This is just the nature of the game. It cycles. Once someone gets a big hit, they do their whole thing, and then they cool off a little bit after the hit, and then someone else just has their own hit and they're taking off. So this is the nature of the game. But when someone has this momentum, especially somebody like Nicki, we got to look at how active Nicki has been lately. If we take a look, and not just active, but effectively active. So she had the Super Freaky Girl song at the end of last year. That song went #1 and it performed very well. It was like a hit song. Then towards the beginning of this year, she's had the Red Ruby the Sleaze song. That song's been performing well. She has a song with Youngboy that just released. That charted at number 99. That really didn't get much push. I mean, her label can't work overtime. You can only really push one song at a time, and they didn't prioritize the song with Youngboy. It's also kind of all dropping at the same time, so it's difficult to push everything. But there's the song with Youngboy that debuted at number 99. That's pretty much completely organically off both of their fan bases, which is, I would think they would be able to do better than that. Youngboy fans and Nicki Minaj fans, I think they would be able to, just off of strictly streams, debut at least, I don't know, like 60. That's what I would guess, 60, 70. Regardless, she has Princess Diana, the remix now, with Ice Spice, who's the hottest female rapper right now. I would say Ice Spice is the hottest rapper right now, male or female. Now, does that mean she's the most popular? No, but she's the most lit right now, the most talked about, the most conversation around her music as well. It's really not just how she looks. That's an element of it, but people are talking about the music. People are listening to the music. She wouldn't be on the charts if that wasn't the case. So she has that Princess Diana song, which they're working that song. It's going to do well. It's just the nature of the game. And she also has a pop song. Well, it's most likely a pop song, but it's with a pop star, Kim Petras. Kim Petras is the one that has that #1 song, or the song that was #1 with Sam Smith. The whole devilish performance thing at the Grammys, that was their song. So Kim Petras is huge. Nicki has a song with her coming out, I think this week or next week, not entirely sure. So it's a packed schedule. Keep in mind, this is on top of the fact that Nicki Minaj would crush and will crush Lotto lyrically on any level. So Nicki Minaj has skill over Lotto. She has momentum over Lotto. And I also believe she has favorability over Lotto. For example, Lotto is not in the position where Ice Spice is right now, where she's highly favored. That doesn't mean people dislike Lotto. They're just lukewarm about her, unless they're real Lotto fans. But now, it kind of feels like it's coming unprovoked. So Lotto's trying to get back hot, because if she's dissing her, this is pretty much how to roll out a diss song. You perform it at Coachella, that everybody's watching, all the blogs post it, everybody talks about it, and then you eventually drop the song. But I just can't help but feel it's not the right move, because Lotto's trying to get back hot through a beef with, Nicki Minaj? It's kind of like a Pusha T situation, where Pusha T did get a lot hotter from dissing Drake, but keep in mind, Pusha T barred up Drake, and on top of that, with the second song actually, it wasn't that big of a deal to me lyrically, but he dropped some information that people weren't privy to, and that's really what helped him win the beef. So unless Lotto has something like that on Nicki Minaj, it's just going to look like a grasp at popularity, and Nicki Minaj is really going to crush her on all fronts. And I don't even think there's going to be a group of people that are supporting Lotto in this case. She could back off, and Nicki Minaj hasn't said anything, which makes perfect sense. I think Nicki Minaj is just biding her time. I don't think she'll ignore it, though. Would that be the best course of action? Quite possibly. It's a lot on your plate to have all of these songs dropping at the same time. Nicki's clearly working on an album coming relatively soon in the next couple of months. Nobody's this active without something down the pipeline. Lotto is already feeling the heat from Nicki fans. She posted this photo. She wanted to expand the photo to post something about her crowd, like her performance, her crowd, her celebrating. And then everybody said she photoshopped the crowd to make it look bigger. And then she has to come back and reply, "Never photoshopped the crowd, LMAO. I expanded it so it would fit in my Instagram swipe without getting cut off. But it was clearly effed up, so I didn't end up using it and just posted the wrong version by accident on Twitter. Babes. Next." So she's already getting lit up. Nobody would have paid attention to her faking or photoshopping the crowd, which you don't even have to do. The crowd's already there. Coachella brought the crowd. Also, I want to give credit. When I was watching that performance, Lotto was actually rapping on stage with her own voice and not just letting the backtrack play. And she made the effort to put on a decent performance, which is something I got to give credit for, because a lot of rappers, especially when they're doing festivals, are not doing this. They're just letting the track play, and it's annoying and it's frustrating, and you feel like you got scammed, especially if you paid to go see them. So shout out to Lotto for at least putting on a performance. I do respect the audacity in coming at Nicki Minaj. That's something I can get behind. Do I think it'll pan out? I hope so. I hope it does for her. I don't got nothing bad against Lotto personally. If there's any young female rapper that can also rap well, that is also a disciple of Nicki Minaj that can take her on, it would be Lotto. Now, I don't think she could take on Nicki Minaj, but the reason why I say all of those previous categories is there are lyrical female rappers, but they don't fall under the vein of Nicki Minaj's offspring. Lotto does, and that's why I made that distinction. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think this was a good move by Lotto? Do you think this song will actually drop? Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.